Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today it's Friday, it's FNM, and we got just regular historic. Not so bad. So what we have here, well, aside from a long list of cards that we're definitely not going to run into, thank goodness, we do have some cards that are problematic. Collector Company is a problem, Goblins is a problem, the Sacrifice decks are some sort of problem. So, you know what, I decided I'm just going to hate the heck out of those decks. So this one's a standard mono-white life deck, but it's not completely dedicated to life gain. In fact, I'm gonna highlight the cards that I brought in here. So here we have 4 copies of Containment Priest. This one, if I'm able to hold this up, this literally blanks a Collected Company. It also blanks a Muxus. Still have to deal with the Muxus on the board, but I do have ways to deal with that one. 3 copies of Hushbringer. This one helps. Actually, Containment Priest also helps with the Cauldron Familiar, so that's an added bonus. It doesn't help with Escape, that's a bit of a caveat. Hushbringer, this one helps against... Yeah, this one also helps against the aforementioned Muxus. It helps somewhat with Cauldron Familiar. It also helps with the way they take advantage, like midnight, like the Midnight Reaper. That said, there are some things that we can't exactly deal with. We have problems with activated abilities and triggered abilities, so that one's still a bit of a weakness. We're just hoping to bust through it. We have the usual life gain package, Leonin Vanguard, Serra Ascendant. I only have 1 copy of Speaker. I probably would balance this out. I would prefer more Speakers than Serras because this is a lot easier to attain. 4 copies of Ajani's Pridemate to put some early pressure as long as the Legion's Landing. 3 copies of Daxos. It's a bit of a non-bow with Hushbringer, but I'm okay with that. 2 copies of Talia. This one's also a bit of a non-bow for us, but it does buy a lot of time. It delays Coco by 1. It forces them to have removal, and we can just dump. It gives us enough time to find the Containment Priest somewhat. We have 4 copies of Cast Out, 4 copies of Seal Away. I originally tried Baffling End, which I'd like more. The problem is Baffling End does not answer Krenko. And at least Krenko taps, so we can still seal it away. And sometimes I'd run into a really large creature, like say a Ronas that's very big, or some other creature. If they have Vigilance, then the seal away is a problem. But more often than not, seal away does the job. Also has Flash, so that's kind of relevant. 2 copies of Heliod, that's the top end. Special sauce is Idol of Endurance. This one pretty much a good way to buy a lot of the cards back. I originally tried having it mostly enchantments like Ruined Halo, Gideon's Intervention. I considered Rest in Peace. The problem is, those enchantments are good, but they do nothing on the board. If we were a Dance of the Mans deck, maybe those would be okay. I would be able to run a lot of Omens. I might just go 3 color, but I figured I'd keep it simple for now and just test the premise out. So our lands, a few secluded steps because we really need to draw cards. I chose Cast Out over say Conclave Tribunal because I do need the option to draw a card. Sure, most of the time I end up just holding this, but the fact that this has Flash is also better. Likewise, for that reason, if I went to a more controlling build, I'd probably have settled the Wreckage also. And 2 copies of Castle Ardenvale. If I'm not being locked out by my own Hushbringer, this does some combo with Dax, so some good way to take up the life slowly. So here we go. We're hoping to try to take advantage of the meta, see how it pans out. We do still have problems with Goblins. It's not a silver bullet, but it is still an annoyance. So we just have to pay attention to the cards we draw. I did also consider just making this a straight Flash deck. So basically it's white-blue control. We'd have Angel of Grace as the top end. Maybe a few Voracious Sharks. But that one's a bit on the too expensive end. So, okay, we have Seal Away. So I'm actually going to play Vanguard into Pridemate. Yeah, it's a bit of a whiff, but But I need to see if I have to seal away Fanatical Firebrand. If our opponent just attacks, we just seal this one away. Okay, we're sealing it away. Can't exactly let it stay up because it's gonna ping our Vanguard. It could also ping our Talia, which is a problem. But this is looking like a Goblins deck, so I don't think we're going to be able. So we definitely, yep, it's a Goblins deck. We're holding the second seal away. We did hit our third mana. That's the good news. So I'm gonna just have the option to run either Talia or the other one. But we definitely need to seal away at least the Muxus if we can't Containment Priest. I am actually willing to trade the Pridemate. Yeah, there's another Fanatical Firebrand. I'm actually fine with this. Because if our opponent's using that on our board instead of us, it's perfect. There's a Conspicuous Snoop into a Gem Palm. Okay, this is not so great. Our opponent is still a bit off on mana, so we do have that option. Now, we're actually going to do this just to get a 4-4. And I'm actually going to offer the trade. Basically, take us... Because the Goblins deck really wants to have a board presence. If we can deny that board presence, we're good. So, our opponent is also might also just cycle, just ping a Vanguard. I sincerely doubt they're going to just play this straight. If we can convince them to attack, otherwise I just play Talia. It'll still keep the life gain up going. We're probably not going to be able to cast Seal away anyway, so on that turn, so holding up, so having the 3 mana Seal away is not bad. Yeah, the Talia is a bit of a non-bow. Opponent is digging, so they're opting not to cycle. Or rather, they're opting to... Well, it's going to be a bit late to ping this one. Oh, the Chain Whirler is going to be annoying. I can't... So I guess I'm not playing the Talia after all. Neither am I playing the Sarah. But since I know what's going to come up, I'm going to offer the board already. So I know we're gonna lose these two. Yeah, that's the one caveat of Matron. We can see what's gonna happen. So we'll take that. If our opponent attacks with Skirk Prospector. Okay, so our opponent technically has Muxus mana up. If he attacks with Snoop. Do I just hold? 3, 4, 5. I guess I just take the damage and hold. Because we don't have a Containment Priest right now. If I knew I had the Containment Priest coming, I'd be more confident to just play the Seal away now. Okay, got Secluded Step. I'm going to cycle this, see if we draw into anything. Draw into a Daxos, so we still need to hold. We're gonna take a bit of a beating here, but that's gonna be kind of part of it. Opponent needs to have 6 in order to snipe the Pridemate. Opponent could also do the first strike trick, so at least our opponent can't cycle now unless this is a land. So we could take 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yuck, 9 damage is a lot. But it does allow us to snipe the Chain Whirler. If that's all he's attacking... Oh yeah, we have to be careful because he does have extra mana. Opponent holds. Okay, that's fine. So we did hit the Containment Priest. So... yeah, given that we're going to bait it a little bit. So we have multiple options this time. The Containment Priest at worst is just going to be a 2-2 blockers, probably snipe the Chieftain. I'm pretty sure though our opponent wants to Muxus it up. We can't defend the Pridemate, unfortunately. The most we can do is defend our board. We did our best, but the chain whirler was really good. Opponent is gonna pass. I guess we can just take the hit. Or we can force our opponent's hand. Yeah, let's force our opponent's hand now. Because I can do one or the other. Our opponent could mux us end of under second main phase, which is very atypical. Goes ringleader instead. Okay. Doesn't hit the Muxus, hits another chain whirler. So this might just be regular goblins. So this is not quite according to plan. If I can hit another mana, I am willing to drop the actually, I'm willing to drop the Daxos. This is like what? X 1, 2. Okay. Opponent sacks that to cast that. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm still missing that one land, so since I know the Chain Whirler is gonna drop anyway, let's swing with Serra Ascendant. Because I'm concerned of the likelihood that this last card is a Muxus. Okay, at least we got our opponent to sack a card. Opponent does need... Okay, hits that mana. Our opponent can actually snipe. Opts to play the War Chief first, so... War Chief into Chieftain is a problem, but at least it doesn't get sniped out by Incinerator. So if we were to take something... Probably the Chief... Actually, no. No, actually... Okay, let's say he plays that one. He's still... Probably sacks... Probably sacks Snoop and Ringleader just to get Matt. Bit weird. Well, actually, it doesn't work if you have to sack because you'll be below. So... Yeah, holding mana not so great. I really want to play the other stuff, but I really can't. Then again... Okay, let's just play the Daxos now. Yeah, missing land drops is hurting us. If we... So at least we have an X5. Opponent does hit 6 mana. If they hit Muxus, I'm gonna be so bitter. It's literally their... Okay, they're not going for Muxus quite yet, but we're probably still dead anyway to the 4. Yeah. So at least we... Yeah, but let's see. 2, 5, 10, 15... 5, 10, 15... Yeah, we're dead. We whiffed on mana. That's the problem. So... Yeah, if we had more mana, we would have been able to... At least have more freedom to do things. We are running just about 21 lands, so there's probably an issue. Maybe in hindsight, I should not have cycled the Secluded Step. We really are a 4-mana deck, essentially. But we'll try again. Let's keep things going. Let's see how it works. So far, I'm a bit nonplussed. I already know that Goblins is not the best matchup, especially if we... It's best if we can get our opponent to be so greedy that they actually sack their board state just to drop a Muxus. That's where we shine. So speaking of which, we will drop... Okay, opponent is presumably playing mono red. Okay, no, it's not. Of course they're not. Well, they could still be playing red-green, but okay, Land War Elves. Okay, we played the Pride Mate, offer the trade. If this is regular Elves, we will be looking down a 5-4 any moment now. If this is regular ramp, we have to hurry. I could use another regular lance. Voracious Hydra, X equals 1, snipes the Ascendant. That's fine. It actually grows the Pride Mate a little bit, so we're actually fine with that. And you know what? Let's see. You know what? Our opponent might have mana problems, so let's deal with that one in particular. And at least if, well, this actually is some sort of ramp. Either okay, it's definitely ramp. They're playing decent. Okay, so I'm gonna play Daxos. This gives us an X4. I'm so tempted to play Ascendant now, but I'm gonna hold on that. I want to play Pridemate into Ascendant so we can grow it as well. So far, yeah, we're just waiting for their big stuff. Like, well, we will have problems. Okay, Nissa. So we could expect an Ugin any moment now. So I'm actually gonna drop this first. Yeah, Ugin's gonna be a problem if we can't deal with it. So but I still have no choice. So I'm just gonna all attack Nissa. So if our opponent has Ugin, then we're kind of done for. We didn't exactly have the Talia. Our opponent has exactly, well, 10 mana now. Do they have Ugin? And everything we have is so soft that it's kind of a deal. No, they have Karn. Okay, so kind of bought all the time. Now, what artifact are they looking for? Probably something that can deal with, say, Daxos. We definitely need to still need to hit Nissa, so it's really a question what this Stonecoil Serpent. Wait. That's probably fine as an X4. We are gonna drop Heliod next after. Oh wow, dropping Heliod. Oh, Ratchet Bomb. Okay, so that buys us a. So we have a clock. We have to hurry.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
So not quite Ugin. We still have to snipe Nissa. Arc.
My heart beats in unison with the wild.
So +1/+1. You can't put in the Ratchet Bomb. Okay, distributes counters. I am willing to take the 5 damage. Well, opponent's not willing to give. So we... Okay, so we know this is gonna be... Okay, we have to put one here at least. So this is gonna be at least a 5/5. Okay, I'm gonna swing it like this. I'm gonna convince our opponent to trade stuff. Actually, our opponent could end up just trading these two. Yeah, Daxos is gonna be so vulnerable here. Our opponent's definitely not activating Ratchet Bomb now. And we're kind of lucked out in the fact that our opponent is... Okay, blocks that. So he's gonna keep Karn alive, just presumably to dig something else. Okay, there's that. Oh, they're gonna keep Nissa alive. Probably taps to make a food token, which is reasonable. Unfortunately, so we're definitely going to activate on this. Unfortunately, opponent still has 8 mana, so it's a problem. At least we took out the Karn. So let's put one counter here. I'm gonna put some counters on Serra Ascendant also, just to on the assumption that I'm actually gonna drop on life. It might even convince our opponent to sack the Serra, sack the Ratchet Bomb, now preserve the rest of our board. If we lose the board, we kind of lose Heliod, but we don't lose Serra. Yeah, we have to keep hitting. We now have to aim for our opponent. Our opponent will have 2 blockers. Opponent is aiming for something with 8 mana.
One arrow
Ulamog,
knocked.
2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, that will work. Ulamog takes out 2 permanents. That's a problem. We lose Serra, we'll lose Ajani's Pridemate as well. And yeah, that's enough to depower Heliod. Oh no, he goes for that. He goes for Heliod. It makes sense. That's indestructible after all. Yeah. The tutor for Ulamogs is really tough. Opponent triggers that. Yeah, we're gonna lose our board. We're about to lose our board anyway, so might as well. And we would have no way of dealing with this whatsoever. Well, yeah, I guess that's good game. Yeah. Ramp is a bit interesting. And wait, is this... That was... No, this one just puts it in hand, not battlefield. So, yeah, we would not have been able to nuke it either. So, we're gonna concede at this point. That was close. What options did we have? Hushbringer would... No, it's a cast trigger. Nah, Hushbringer does nothing. Yeah, having to deal with Ulamog. I actually forgot about that. All of a sudden, I'm facing against the decks that I don't exactly prey upon. So much for making a meta call. Well, you can't exactly control who goes into Historic. Historic's, for all things considered, is still relatively wide open. So... Okay, we'll keep this one. We'll go step... Okay, opponent has the Soul Warden Life Gain version. I'm actually gonna play the step first. Because what we can do is play Pridemate turn 2 depending... Okay, so this is a Life Gain style deck. Our opponent's probably gonna play an Angel turn 3, so... We can actually hold this. So basically what I want to do is at least nuke the Bishop of... Okay, there's a Resplendent Angel. We'll gain... Yeah. And this only deals with non-tokens, so we can't answer the 4-4. However, if our opponent attacks with everything, we can at least... Opponent's smart. He's preserving these guys. Wow. Yikes! You know what? Let's just drop this now. Let's get as many triggers out of the way as possible. So we're gonna be facing down against a few angels. This one has vigilance, so that's a problem. At least the Resplendent does not. So at least we denied the Resplendent Angel until our opponent drops another one. I could have actually just played the Vanguard. So we're going down a bit. Opponent plays another Resplendent Angel. I guess we're... If we can draw another mana... Yeah, wow. We're just getting creamed by We're just getting creamed by all these decks. So... Yeah, I guess I would do a control version Settle the Wreckage won't answer these, but it will answer most of everything else. Probably I'll just do a version with lots of rats. Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's concede now. We missed our 4th land drop, so we can't cast out. And our opponent just got the busted 1-2. We could have nuked the Soul Warden to at least prevent the Angel. I actually forgot about Resplendent Angel. I was expecting the other Angel. If I remembered that one, I would have taken out the Soul Warden right away. It would have severely limited our opponent's deck right there. So we're still making mistakes. It's okay. It's part of learning process. And yeah, I'm making the mistakes. So if somehow you decide to try this one, you don't have to. Actually, when I had to test this deck out a bit for myself, I was making quite a bit of mistakes too. So yeah. Vanguard turn 1. We're gonna do Vanguard. Actually, well, if our opponent has a burnt Scorch Spitter, okay. Gonna offer the trade. We're gonna also do the seal away first. Yeah. Because depending on this build, if this is regular Scorch Spitter, I'm expecting to see a Robber of the Rich, right? About... Oh, Runaway Steamkin. So I kind of... Well, it's not relevant to this matchup, so I'll just take the Containment Priest now. The spells are going to be relevant, so... So Talia is okay, even though she's kind of soft. If our opponent spends mana to take out Talia, it's fine. If our opponent plays Goblin Chain Whirler, it's not fine. Opponent's more likely to spend a spell in this case. We will still have problems, say, with Embercleave and the other stuff, but at least we do have a seal away option. So we're just using the Vanguards to buy us some time. We need to draw into the rest of our good cards. Opponent spends the mana to shock. Okay, that's fine. Into another Scorch Spitter. So our opponent will attack. We'll take the hit and just seal it away. And we'll play the other Leonin Vanguard, so... Yeah, it's vulnerable to Chain Whirler. I remember that from last time, but we're not exactly holding up the cast out. Actually, I do want to hold up the cast out. Opponent's at 4 mana now. Yeah, what are the things we want to cast out? Probably an Experimental Frenzy. Probably an actual Chain Whirler. You know what? Let's just block it now. Annex Hardened by the Forge. Okay, so we denied that one. Got another Vanguard. Unfortunately, we're not attacking. And we kinda need this cast out because of that Annex. So I'm actually gonna hold back. If our opponent, say, plays a land Embercleave, we're not quite dead yet. Opponent does play a Robber. So we'll see how he goes. I'm definitely gonna block the Robber with Containment Priest, if ever. I'll take the 4. So at least that token can't block, so we just have to deal with the Steamkin. We can buy some time at least. We're still vulnerable to Embercleave right now, but at least our opponent is kind of running on empty. If we can hit the Heliod, that's nice. So we'll pass, no blocks. I'm pretty sure our opponent had the Embercleave. We'll take the hit. Now the sad thing is, if we do cast out... Let's say I cast out the Steamkin, I still have to deal with the Embercleave on the token. If I cast out the Embercleave, then our opponent's living off the top, I can live with that. steal with the creature, which is an issue, but yeah, we're kind of getting beaten down right now. Fervent Champion. Opponent has a big creature, but at least, yeah, we now have to hold back. This doesn't have tramp. Yeah, it doesn't have trample, so we're fine. We have a Containment Priest as a surprise. That's a probably mistake. I should have played this now to gain the extra life. If our opponent has shock, it's over. Okay, no shock. And but our opponent does have Castle Embret, so we will lose our. So we will lose our board no matter what. I should have just played it to gain the life. So yeah, wow. All of a sudden, our plans are not working out. I should have just gained the extra life. Yeah, we kind of bumped this one really badly. We had the removal more or less. Opponent also had the removal too. Well, actually, that was still kind of correct. Our opponent having Fervent Champion means the Embercleave would still be life. Yeah, so at least the cast out is correct. But man, we're not exactly hitting the targets we want. It's not a good day for mono white. And we've cut quite a lot of lands just to make it work. Okay, I'm willing to keep the Seal Aways. So Vanguard Pridemate. Temple of Abandon. Whoa. This might actually still work. There could be a turn 2 Scavenging Ooze. I'm already starting to consider just maxing out the Secluded Steppes. Okay, this is a sacrifice deck, so which is Oven. I need to hit. I'm gonna play this one first. If our opponent doesn't do anything to our board, we can just play the Speaker and hold up Seal Away next turn. Opponent claims the Firstborn. Yeah. Typical of this deck. Can't do anything about that. Goes for the Village Rites. I guess that makes sense. It means our opponent's having mana problems. So I guess we cycle this. Cycle. Get the Heliod. And the nice thing is, even if the Seal Away misses a target, it's still on the board, so we would still have something to Heliod into. Okay, Blood Artist. Those are never gonna attack, so that might be an issue. Dreadhorde Butcher. We'll lose the Vanguard in the process, but we still get 1 pip on the board. And it protects our Speaker. Okay, so how do we deal with the Blood Artist? I originally had Baffling End for this, but if we can hit the Hushbringer, that might also do the trick, because it will trigger it will knock out the death triggers. So I'll just play the Speaker first. I might need to hold the second Seal Away. Unfortunately, we need more pips. A Daxos would be nice. Mayhem Devil. Opponent probably sacks the food token. No, it does not. Okay, we'll hold. We do hit the Hushbringer. So I'm willing to play that just to nuke the death triggers from Blood Artist. I think it also convinces our opponent to do it now. Yeah, he's doing it now. So he's gonna ping the Speaker that way. Against the trigger. Yeah, Heliod really needs more of a creature base, but we are kind of getting there. So we just need to seal away this Mayhem. Devil. Claim the Firstborn. That's fine, because it still nukes their abilities no matter what. Our opponent will have to sack the Hushbringer first. Let's see how our opponent attacks. We'll take the hit. Man, I guess by playing the first Seal Away, we negate every other Seal Away. Yeah, I guess this is kind of why I would rather have Baffling End, but yeah, we'll take the seal. Kind of want to have Settle now instead. Opponent is... We'll play the Heliod, at least now it's an enchantment, so it can't be claimed. Yeah, claim the first one really sucks. Opponent has the Cauldron Familiar. Our opponent might just sit back and do the Cauldron Familiar combo all over, so that's also a problem. Probably want to hit Containment Priest if that happens. Guess we do seal away now. Opponent can sack it to draw cards. At least we get 3 Devotion. Yeah. This player is a lot there. But also the cards that we're not exactly hitting. Like, we hit 6... Well, our opponent also hit 6 lands, so it's kind of even, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold. We can make a token if we need to block. But at this rate, our opponent is literally just gonna sack food tokens. Just and kill us that way. Use the Forgotten Gods. Wow. Activated abilities. Yeah, I really can't wait for the day when we can get Blood Moon to wreck things. Yeah, the trade is okay. I'm willing to go through that. Unfortunately, wow, that's 2 triggers. Yeah, we're not gonna make this. Unbelievable. Looks like the competition stepped up quite a lot. We will lose the Containment Priest, but the moment our opponent tries to bring back the Cauldron Familiar... Yeah, that was the bait. Our opponent in theory could sack 2... Okay. Going for the trigger. He let it go, so... Because our opponent could... Yeah, our opponent could have just sacked Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Well, he would have sacked the entire board, which is fine for me too. Yeah, so there you go. Containment Priest, at least nuking out one. Opponent going for the food token. Yeah, he's gonna finish the Containment Priest now. Makes me consider that maybe Arrest in Peace might not be so bad. But at least we're forcing our opponent to do all this now. And if we can answer the Mayhem Devil, we might stand a chance. Might. Very big air quotes might. Daxa Collected Company. That's really what I wanted. Yeah, what? Yeah, I'll just say good game. We'll set that resolve. Yeah, I really wanted the Containment Priest for that, but I had... Yeah, that's good game. Could I have waited? Could I have waited for the Cauldron Familiar? Our opponent had to spend the mana to kill it. Wait, no, he drew it off the top, so he drew it off the top so that, yeah, I had to do it then. And that Containment Priest was like, what, going to block the Mayhem Devil, so I'm still in a bad position. Yeah, claim the Firstborn. Still a problem. Yeah, it really breaks the lock in a sense. So this is a control deck. So I guess we can start with Daxos into Pridemate. We might have to cycle the first cap. No. In fact, this is the if this is the deck I think it is, we need the cast outs even more because we're going to be answering Planeswalkers. Oh wow. I decide to go do a deck specifically against certain plans, only to run into every deck that okay, the last deck did, but I was so way behind at that point. I might still cycle the first cast out. It's probably looking like that this should be more of a control build. Oh, wait. What the heck? Maybe not. I have no idea what this deck does. This could be a Lucky Clover style deck. Or a Genesis Ultimatum. Well, Genesis Ultimatum, you want to hit fewer cards, not more. So I'm actually going to play Daxos first. For lack of any information, I want to play Daxos into Pridemate and play the Hushbringer last. Yeah, without knowing what I'm up against. Leafkin Druid. Okay, it's a ramp style deck. Okay, the single... Okay, so if we play Hushbringer, we stop gaining life off Daxos. That's one of the sad parts. Opponent, yeah, this is Teamer. Omnath deals. Okay, damage to me. I will play the Vanguard first because we want to gain the extra life. Then I'm gonna play Hushbringer to. The Hushbringer blanks Risen Reef. It'll blank any future Omnaths. Well, not Omnath, because this is land enters the battlefield. It'll get that trigger. So these elementals are gonna start getting bigger. We need to hit one more land so that we can cast out something. Okay, we forced them to Bone Crusher. So minor victory right there. It's about to become a 5/5, so we need to hit that cast out mana. Well, on the bright, our alternate plan is hit the Idol of Endurance, so okay, we hit the cast out mana, so let's cast this out. So we could cast out the next two big things, then hopefully hit the 5th mana so I can do Idol of Endurance Hushbringer. Okay, opponent's going for the Yorions, presumably get something off the top. Okay, so now the Pridemate is a must block. There! So we did get her first win, but it's against a super atypical deck. At least we know the Hushbringer would have wrecked the... It would have wrecked the elementals. I'm surprised I didn't see an Uro, though that would have bought our opponent some time. Yeah, I don't think that should have been an 80 card deck. That could easily be 60 cards. There's no reason for that to be an 80 card deck. Okay, so we got one win in. Now we just need to, well, get another win. Also, by tomorrow, I should really start pushing those, update the precons. I have like 4 precons left in 1 week, so that's a lot of videos I need to start cramming out. Okay, and now it looks like the server's lag. It's just waiting. So we're just gonna keep waiting a bit. I'm gonna pause the video here until we get back. Let's try to see what's up. Nope, waiting on server does nothing, so yeah. Okay, now we're back, so yeah, let's claim those rewards. I actually had Dranet Magistrate in the slot where the idol was. This one is... Actually, I had this more for the... No, it's not standard, it's still historic. I was running Baffling End at the time. Yeah, Dranet Magistrate was also another consideration. It was a good way to blank light up the stage. It would blank... It blanks all the escape cards. It's just a matter of fitting the cards. So I'm definitely... So we're definitely having the traditional life gain plan, which means the speaker is gonna die. Next turn, if Conspicuous Snoop. Okay, I'm gonna play the Pride Mate. We need to hold up Seal Away, so that means I can't exactly play Talia next turn. Oh wait, this is a different version. Just saw Legion War Boss. Actually makes me want to play Talia. Also because I know something is about to get sniped. I might just play this. I might just swing with the speaker, just bump it against something just to get this into 4-4. Oh, opponent playing it regular. Okay. I can respect that. If our opponent's gonna double block the Pride Mate, the 3/3 Pride Mate, that's fine. But we now have a different plan. So he could still block. He could still choose to double block. I'm gonna swing with just this one because we can still continue to get life triggers. Important thing now is we have a 2/5 Daxos that can block stuff. This is atypical. This is not, so we might still run into problems. At least I have Helio as an option if our opponent were to snipe anything but Daxos. Okay, so it's really as atypical. I will just block with Daxos. I might also block with Speaker just to... It makes it crit. It makes the incoming Heliod critical, but I might as well do it now. One, because I need to grow this really big in order to punch through this. Okay, we hit our mana. So gain life, put a counter. We're gonna put it on Vanguard. And we're gonna put it on Vanguard again. Basically, we want to protect this Vanguard at all costs. And the opponent concedes. Yeah, looks like if you're gonna do goblins, do the Muxus Goblins setup. You have two avenues of attack with that one. At least you're not just all in on running one through. Also kind of weird, our opponent had a very slow start. Turn 2 Snoop, turn 3... Turn 3, not even the Legion War Boss. Our opponent went with turn 3. Yeah, that was a mistake. You really want to cycle the Gem Palm Incinerator as a removal spell. Because if you're playing goblins, chances are that's literally your only removal spell. Now, this is probably a horrible keep. Like, I can do turn 2 Daxos, turn 3 Talia, turn 4 something. I really want to mulligan this one, but I kind of want to keep it too. Anyway, if nothing else, it's a demonstration of why I don't run all 4 copies of Secluded Step. I was considering it for a while. If we can start drawing more planes, then the Secluded Step becomes something of later. I will definitely still play the first one as a land, because we need to, the Daxos turn 2 is a must, even if it just means Hushbringer or Talia turn 3. Now, whichever one of these two I play will depend on what our opponent has. Assuming I'm not the one who disconnected. Oh wow, what's up? Okay, opponent kept, so we're gonna keep 2. Also, because we barely have any card draw at all, we really have to keep any... Ah, yikes, Legion's Landing. I guess I can play that late. Opponent goes Paradise Root, so it's ramp or... It's either ramp or mutate. Or it could just be regular else. I am speculating that this is more likely to be a mutate deck. When it's... Okay, it's regular else. Which... Okay, we did not hit that land, so yeah, that's a problem. Okay, I can play Talia, but it messes... I'm just gonna play the Hushbringer, though it's probably too late. We stopped gaining life at this point, but at this point it's not so much about the life gain as it is about building a board presence and convincing our opponent Also, Hushbringer blanks Crater Hoof Behemoth, which is a thing. We can survive a cast out, but okay. Opponent attacks with those two, we will take 6. So next turn, it's Legion's Landing into Traben. Yeah, we won't gain life out of this, but at least we gain a we gain a decent size behind. So at least we're safe from. The opponent is just going wide. This is the same problem we had last time. So Talia's not going to defend against anything. I probably just throw away the vampire. If I can draw one more mana, I'm definitely casting out something. At least the Elvish Visionary blanked the card draw. Collected Company... Yeah, I would prefer Containment Priest to that, but at least the Hushbringer... Okay, blank this one, so... Not that many creatures, it's just our opponent has unloaded everything, so... Block. Block. We'll take 9. And take 8 virtually. So 6. So we got. So we're gonna play the Vanguard. We gain 1 life this way. Yeah, the Hushbringer is nuking our life gain. But our opponent is literally top decking, so I could just 2, 4, 6 until end of turn. 5, 5. No trample, but it's a 5/5 with still all creature types. So yeah, I'm gonna concede there. That was way too slow. Secluded Steps slow us down, which is a consideration. That's probably a good reason to mulligan this hand. Then again, what was our responses? We literally only had 1 cast out that we never got to cast. Yeah, so the problem is our deck is responsive, but in the wrong kind of way. If we had the Containment Priest, we could nuke the Coco, but yeah, I would. But it's just a series of bad timing. Okay, at least we have a Containment Priest this time, so I can stop complaining. We will go Vanguard, Priest, Heliod, cast out. I would really like to draw Daxos, so it's Vanguard Daxos. Oh no. Cauldron Familiar? Okay, that's not too bad. We can. We can wreck the combo, but it will be a lot later. So let's. Opponent plays Blood Crypt, plays Dreadhorde Butcher. I will offer the trade because I don't. Yes, okay, we have a multiple Containment Priest, so we can wait this out. Opponent plays a Dreadhorde Butcher. So I will play the Containment Priest to nuke the Butcher so that we only take 1 damage. Our opponent is very likely to just ping this. So that's 2 Dreadhorde Butchers down. I'm tempted to cast Heliod, but we'll do nothing, so we pass. We definitely have cast out for next turn, so I'm waiting for opponent plays Woe Strider. Containment Priest does not answer these. That would be Hushbringer, so Containment Priest does answer that one Cauldron Familiar. It'll force our opponent to sack it at least. And we have to cast out on the Woe Strider. Yeah, opponent sacks it. That's fine. That's not mulligan our only good removal against this. Baffling End would fit this one, regardless of the escape. So yeah, sometimes sometimes there's a catch. Seal Away or Baffling End. Definitely have to flash this now. So next turn we can Heliod and a Pride Mate, although we're not exactly gaining life. Also, Priest of Forgotten Gods. Priest of Forgotten Gods. Our opponent's gonna. We do have a plan though. So there's our. There's our sacrifice bait. Then let's say our opponent goes sacks everything to the priest. Midnight Reaper. Probably will draw some cards in the process. Claim the firstborn. Okay, that's the problem. We lose the Containment Priest. We will draw one card. I'm just gonna seal away that priest now so we can avoid any problems in the future. I can at least make up tokens for the time being. So we lose this Containment Priest. So even against the sacrifice deck, we still have problems. Opponent does catch up on lands. We have to get rid of that. I will play the Heliod now because we're not exactly doing anything with our mana, and any permanent makes Heliod live. Opponent is flooded. Okay, the Ghost Rider helped. Okay, so we hit Pridemate. So at the very least, we've kind of stabilized until our opponent draws the inevitable Claim the Firstborn, because that's who they are. Oh, they could actually claim Heliod, which would be... Well, they could claim Heliod, but they'll never be able to sacrifice it. So that's a plus. So I'm actually gonna just make tokens, I'm actually gonna just make a token, then give it +1/+1. So we're... Opponent hits a Blood Artist, so they're now inclined to sacrifice things. Or not quite. I need to buff this Pridemate, but it's gonna be a while. So, but this is okay because... Now the lifelink trigger is the important part. So even if I'm still net 0 life, or our opponent's gonna sacrifice the... Well, I'm actually fine with that too. So the Pridemate is still at a manageable level. But we still have tokens if ever we have to deal with more Priests of the Forgotten Gods. I'm really concerned that our opponent's about to just draw a Mayhem Devil. Okay, there's the Mayhem Devil. We'll have to into another Ghost Rider. Okay. So we're not gonna have Heliod anymore to defend us. But our opponent up. Probably. Okay, there's a Seal Away. We probably want to save that for later. So I actually want to convince our opponent to attack, so I'm not going to drop anything. I want our opponent to snipe the Pridemate. It will turn off Heliod. There, that's fine. Now, what will you sack to turn off Heliod again? Probably one of the Ghost Riders. That should solve one Ghost Rider problem. In fact, if I can convince our opponent to start pinging the tokens just to attack, that's so much better. I just need our opponent to attack. Witch's Oven. Okay, that's a problem because our opponent can legally just sit back now. Opponent plays Collected Company. Yeah, get over with. He wants to see if he can... Okay, hits a Priest and Forgotten. So I'm gonna target the Woe Strider because that's their one sacrifice. Actually, no, I don't have to. Because I actually should have targeted this first, so our opponent would be forced to use the Oven. Yeah, that's a mistake. Oops. Let's see if our opponent does the Oven instead of the Scribe. But at least it gets rid of all those extra triggers. Like, I can... Like, by dealing with Mayhem Devil first, I can double block the Midnight Reaper. Unfortunately, Priest means I will have to hold up Mat. Opponent sacks the Priest. Okay, opponent's gonna try to take these out. So, just to keep the Midnight Reaper alive. Okay. And draw cards. Is he gonna let that in? Because once that's in, you lose the... You might want to sack something with the Oven, even if it's just a Cauldron Familiar. Okay, that's actually where I'm... Oh, opponent does sack it. Okay. So, takes out the other token. I can still produce one token. I definitely want to kill the Woe Strider, or at least so that the only sacrifice outlet left is the Oven. So, True Flowers. Unfortunately, our opponent's drawing way too many cards at this point. We might still be behind. Okay. And unless we can answer this, we're gonna lose Heliod. Well, we can kinda answer it. But we're now holding on for dear life unless we can draw Containment Priest. Hushbringer would be fine too, but our opponent's gonna draw a lot of cards in the process. We are just 5, 6, 7, 8. We are 2 mana shy of being able to double trigger Castle Ardenvale. So now having to protect Heliod's an issue, considering these guys will attack if I don't. No choice. Opponent has a Dreadhorde Butcher. So I'm not gonna make a token until I can force our opponent to activate Priest. That said, it's not good either because with the Dreadhorde Butcher, our opponent can... Yeah, so we kind of really needed Hushbringer here. Oh, opponent's holding back. The bad news is we will still end up losing Heliod. At least we will have a large Daxos in the process. I might actually just let Heliod die in this case. Or I could force them to go through all the shenanigans. Like, they sack those. Yeah, I'm gonna make them go through the I'm gonna make them go through the paces. We'll still have a Daxos up. Oh, they didn't activate it. Well, we're still kind of... Well, our opponent can sack... We'll need to... Yeah, our opponent could have sacked the Witch's Oven to at least the Dreadhorde Butcher. So no attacks because we need to find a way to gain life again. At least the Castle Ardenvale starts putting us back. Although... Yeah, if our opponent sacks... Yeah, opponent's gonna go for that one. They make tokens. Yeah, that's good game. We don't have a way to gain life from this one. And yeah, and they have Priest of the Forgotten Gods to seal the deal, so we'll call it there. Yeah, Mayhem Devil's still a problem. Well, we are kind of there. Yeah, we're just not kind of drawing it, but yeah, I kind of wish I did a video when I was doing the demo plays in the not in the FNM queue. Yeah, I guess it would make sense that the FNM queue would have stronger forces. Okay, so Vanguard. I guess we can go Vanguard, Talia, Hushbringer. Depends on what our opponent drops. Thoughtseize. Okay, let's see what our opponent takes. If they take the Vanguard, that's gonna be weird, but it's gonna be fine. Also note the Idol of Endurance means I will have a way to get those back. Let's see what our opponent takes though. Opponent could just... Okay, opponent takes Talia. So we will go Vanguard turn 1. I want to save the Hushbringer for when our opponents... No, sorry, Hushbringer. I want to save the Idol for when our opponents gone through quite a bit of their removal. And this is only creatures entering the battlefield, so it could nuke some of their stuff. And worst case scenario, I can just cycle the Secluded Step. Opponent's taking quite a bit of damage. Opponent has to eliminate. Sure, I figured they'd have that. That's fine. But I still get the Vanguard. Oh, I don't get the... It's an intervening if. Okay. So, I want to have at least 5 mana so I can at least activate something. And their Uro's live. Okay, we'll cycle now. So, they should... I'm not gonna wait. We'll use the seal away for the next one. They're down to 2 cards. If we can apply more pressure, that's fine. So we have 2 cards we can get back with Idol. Maelstrom Pulse takes that out. So they will gain some life. But hey, I got rid of a Maelstrom Pulse and now I have Seal Wasted. Let's see if they have a counter spell. So they will gain some life. Draw a card. They might have need Uro again. So this is kind of the weird caveat of now our turn to start trying to gain life. A Maelstrom Pulse will be weird. At least our opponent will still be left with 1 Uro instead of 2. So, okay, opponent's starting to get land flooded. I would really prefer 1 more land so I can at least play Idol of Endurance. Growth Spiral. Okay, sure. Looking for a counter or some sort of removal. Finds a land. We do this now. I'm also concerned our opponent could have Casualties of War. Since we're about to probably play the Idol, I probably still want to wait further. Okay, I'm gonna cycle the step. So at least we have a big body. 27, 28. We're not gaining life off Daxos, thanks to Hushbringer. Opponent's now forced to cycle. Opponent's going to eliminate Daxos. Not that it matters. That's not. I wasn't gonna gain life off it anyway. So let's see what we get back. Gonna activate. We're gonna grab a Johnny's Pride Mate. Opponent eliminates Ascendant. That's fine. We will still hit 30 life. Well, the 30 life's not so relevant anymore, but having a big Pride Mate is. And our opponent's down to top decking, so... yeah, we're gonna miss the Sarah Ascendant. Opponent hits Ugin. Of course it's Ugin! We're so close. Opponent just exiles everything. And they get four triggers. Yeah, we can concede here at this point. We're not... We unfortunately, even with that effect, we were still too slow to answer an Ugin. And our opponent had to literally top deck that, so... yeah, it's bitter, kind of. With that, but I guess that's probably it. Maybe let's do one more. Let's do one more while I'm still not that salty yet. Then we'll consider some of the things that we might consider for the sideboard. Actually, I didn't build a sideboard for this. So what are the things I consider? The Eidolon that makes Planeswalker abilities cost more. Idol of Endurance is not so bad. It still wouldn't have caught up against an Ugin. I guess I would consider Sorcerer's Spyglass just to... okay. So I'm playing the Vanguard turn 1. I will play... if our opponent taps, I will just seal away turn 2. Robber... okay, opponent takes Containment Priest. We're gonna trade that off. And just seal this one away. So next turn we probably play Dak Zurta Goblin, so that's a 3/3. No, 2/2, going for the quick damage. Okay, so I'm gonna play the Daxos first. It's still... our opponent could have Lightning Strike, which would be a reason for me to play Sarah Ascendant. The thing is, I also want to gain life for the Johnny's Pride Mate, so I'm actually going to cycle the step. Okay, Castle Arden Vale's good. Let's hope I did not guess wrong. Most likely our opponent just has something big. Like, say, a Questing Beast. Hazoret. Okay. That's also a problem. So I will play the Arden Vale. We'll play the Pride Mate first, grow that. Play the Ascendant, grow that. And cycle the step again. We hit a Vanguard. If we can hit another land, well, no. I probably would not play Idol of Endurance at this point. Opponent plays Pelt Collector, trying to go aggro. Okay, trying to clear the way. We probably just take the 5 because we're not exactly aiming for... well, we are kind of aiming for 30 life, but that'll have to wait. So we hit another Daxos. I'm actually gonna play this other Daxos now. Probably could have attacked first though. Let's force our opponent to start chump blocking or something. So basically we have a way to block Hazoret. Yeah, opponent's slightly logged. Opponent, okay, going for that. Might have removal for the Daxos, which would actually be fine considering we have Idol of Endurance. We just need one more. Oh, Ember Cleave. Okay, that's a prop. So it's still a good thing we blocked. We're taking quite a bit of damage though. I need to hit... okay, Sarah Ascendant's not quite it. Will we... So I can probably swing with one Sarah Ascendant just to buff the Pride Mate a little bit. We really need to hit a cast out or a seal away. Sure, they can just move the Embercleave, but Hazoret is something we're not answering. A single Shadow Spear might be relevant. That might actually be better than the Idol of Endurance. So something to consider. Okay, let's just play the Idol now. We might not be able to cast it anyway. Yeah, we go down to 11. This one's dealing 12, so I would have to... Yeah, couldn't deal with the Hazoret. That's a problem. At least we tried to pare the board down a little bit. But we're still in trouble. Yeah, Hazard Embercleave is a nice combo. Yeah, we're not gonna win. Yeah, what we really needed to hit... Well, we used up our one seal away. We needed to hit one of our other ones. I guess that's a way we can adjust the removal. Probably just bump up the... Wait, we have 4 and 4. Yeah, I guess that's still about right. 8 pieces of removal should be fine. Well, there we go. So there's the life deck. It's not really more life deck. It's more like a John Cena deck, based on the attitude adjustment. We didn't quite run into the meta that I was looking for. So what are the changes I probably would make? Well, we still have no answer. We really don't have an answer to Uro. We need a... Like, the Serra Ascendants are kind of okay if we have a better way of gaining life. We probably could... Hold on. I'm gonna copy this one out. I'm gonna show you what my alternate plan was. Then if you guys think it's worth considering, do let me know. So we would actually cut... So it would literally just be a control deck. So what are the cards that we would have here? We'd have the 4 Containment Priest. We'd have 4 Hushbringers. Next Fleece Ram is a way to gain life. I guess I could have used this. It's more consistent, but Daxos is also okay too. Rune Halo... It's a way to get Heliod live, but even then I don't think Heliod fits anymore here. Neither does Daxos. So my alternate plan would have been... Well, there's Totality Honor Guard. I'd probably just add a third copy of Talia. We'd probably have 4 copies of Burt because we were really ramping at this point. I did say there's a certain Eidolon that might be in consideration. Eidolon of Obstruction, which is fine also because it's loyalty abilities of Planeswalkers your opponents control. Though I think in hindsight, I'd rather just run the Sorcerer's Spyglass instead. We're not exactly an aggro deck, so we don't need that extra vulnerability. We can cut the Idol at this point also. So what would my additions be? Aside from these cards, it would still mostly be a flash deck, so... Slaughter the Strong would be an alternate removal. It does wipe most go-wide decks, and it can even wreck some go-tall decks. Timely Reinforcements buys us a lot of time, put some creatures on the board. I consider just running all the Planeswalkers, so... Well, at least all the Gideons. I might just put 4 copies of Gideon, or a mixture of Gideon and Gideon Blackblade. This would be our finisher if ever. So probably about 3 of these and 3 of these. That's my guess. We have to also bump up our mana count because we're we won't be able to survive on 21. We need actual 24. So this is some 25 lands, so at least 24. That's what I think we would need. And we do have birds, so we have a way to dig this through. I guess timely reinforcements, maybe 3 copies. Cast out. Seal away, probably fewer seal aways. Instead of seal aways, we just run actual rats. As in Wrath of God. We won't have enough space to run Wrath and Shatter. Oh yeah. So I consider Gideon as one of my win cons. Angel of Grace might be another win con. I'd at least have 1 copy. The other thing we can do is Settle the Wreckage. That's also a very good way to... That's also a very good way to wipe a board. It's very good against goblins because they will be attacking on that turn. You cannot just wait 1 turn. So this would be my other alternate build. I'll probably save it. Elspeth Conquers Death's probably too slow at this point considering the decks we're running to. Yeah, I did say we want Sorcerer's Spyglass, so probably 2. Maybe a third one. I'd probably cut... Maybe the Talia not so much. In fact, instead of Talia, I probably run Dran. It's a consideration. I'm also considering Tide Taker because that's kind of anti-control, I guess. We can run Tide. It also affects their activate ability, so it does mess up Oven. So that's one thing we can do. So maybe just 3 copies each of these. We really have to max out the Wrath effects. We're running some creatures, so there's a reason why I'd rather run Slaughter the Strong. Yeah, I guess this is how I would build it. I'd still keep the 4 castouts and not. Another alternate is... I just add 1 copy of Approach of the Second Sun. That's basically our other alternate win con aside from the... No, maybe I balance it at that. Then... Okay, Planar Cleansing looks okay. I actually don't have a copy of Approach, so I'll just get this one. I'll just get one just for theory crafting. This is the control version if I don't want to do the life gains side. Something to consider. If I want to do life gain, oh, there's Crested Sunmere, but we were more control, so that would not have fit. Oh, I actually forgot that exists. Urza's Ruinous Blast would not have fit. Yeah, there should at least be 1 copy. So this is how I would build the alternate version. And I'll put the link to that one. So at least there you go. That's it for this episode, the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. Again, we will be having a draft soon, so I hope to see you guys when the stream comes up. It will be Amonkhet remastered. I'll probably do Tinker's Cubes some other time maybe. But until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great weekend, everyone.